Achilles, the greatest warrior of Greek mythology, was born to the mortal Peleus and the sea nymph Thetis. His mother, wanting him to be invincible, dipped him in the river Styx. The water of the Styx made Achilles invulnerable, but because his mother held him by the heel, that part of his body remained vulnerable, his famous Achilles heel. Achilles grew up to be a fierce and nearly unbeatable warrior. He trained under the centaur Chiron, mastering the art of war, making him destined for greatness. When the Trojan War erupted, Achilles was called to join the Greeks in their battle to retrieve Helen, who had been taken by Paris, the Prince of Troy. Initially, Achilles refused to fight, as he had been warned by his mother that if he joined the war, he would die young, but his name would live on in glory forever. Despite the prophecy, Achilles ultimately joined the war, knowing that his fate was sealed. His arrival in the war gave hope to the Greeks, who had been struggling against the Trojans. In battle, Achilles was unstoppable. Armed with his divine armor and wielding his mighty spear, no warrior, Trojan or Greek, could match his ferocity. One of Achilles' greatest achievements came when he fought and killed Cycnus, a warrior blessed by the gods with impenetrable skin. Achilles crushed him in a brutal hand-to-hand combat. As the war dragged on, Achilles' rage and pride grew. His thirst for glory clashed with his honor, leading to a conflict with Agamemnon, the Greek king, which would change the course of the war. Achilles withdrew from battle after Agamemnon dishonored him by taking Briseis, a woman Achilles had claimed as a war prize. Achilles' absence left the Greeks vulnerable. During Achilles' absence, the Trojans, led by the noble Hector, began to gain ground. The Greeks, desperate, begged Achilles to return, but his pride kept him away. Patroclus, Achilles' dearest friend, could no longer watch the Greeks suffer. He donned Achilles' armor and led the Greeks into battle, pretending to be the mighty warrior. Tragically, Patroclus was killed by Hector. Achilles was devastated, overcome with grief and fury. His rage knew no bounds, and he swore to avenge Patroclus. Achilles returned to the battlefield, fueled by a burning desire for revenge. He sought out Hector, the Trojan prince, knowing that only Hector's death would ease his pain. The duel between Achilles and Hector is one of the most legendary moments in Greek mythology. Hector, brave and noble, faced Achilles, knowing that he was doomed. Achilles, in his unstoppable fury, chased Hector around the walls of Troy. Finally, the gods intervened, and Achilles caught up to Hector, striking him down in a fierce battle. In a moment of rage, Achilles dishonored Hector's body, dragging it behind his chariot. This act of vengeance shocked both Greeks and Trojans, highlighting Achilles' unbridled anger. Despite his wrath, Achilles eventually relented after King Priam, Hector's father, begged for his son's body. Moved by the old king's plea, Achilles returned Hector's body for a proper burial. Even after Hector's death, Achilles continued to fight, slaughtering Trojan warriors and pushing the Greeks closer to victory. But his destiny was still to be fulfilled. In a cruel twist of fate, Achilles met his end not in open battle but through treachery. Paris, with the help of Apollo, shot an arrow that struck Achilles in his vulnerable heel. Achilles fell, his body mortally wounded. The hero who had seemed invincible was brought down by his one weakness, fulfilling the prophecy of his early death. The Greeks mourned the loss of their greatest warrior. Achilles' body was burned on a grand funeral pyre, and his ashes were placed in a golden urn alongside those of his beloved friend Patroclus. Though his life was cut short, Achilles' legacy lived on. His name became synonymous with heroism, rage, and the tragic price of glory. He remains one of the greatest figures of Greek mythology. Achilles' story is a reminder of the balance between strength and vulnerability. Even the mightiest heroes have their weaknesses, and destiny cannot be avoided. His tale speaks to the human condition, our desire for immortality through legacy, and the inner battles we face between pride, honor, and the inevitability of fate. Achilles achieved the glory he sought, but at the cost of his life. His legend has transcended time, cementing his place as one of the most powerful and tragic figures in myth. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe, and hit the bell. It's completely free, and that's how you can support the channel to keep uploading content like this. Thanks for watching until the end, and see you next time.